Hey folks, it's Greg and Jan with Strange RV Tours. Today we're in Plano, Texas at the Collinsworth Cemetery. We'll tell you more about it as we walk up to the cemetery, but I thought I'd mention to you guys that I grew up here in Plano. This was my hometown, and something kind of unusual, this cemetery actually sits right in the middle of a subdivision. Very nice subdivision. We'll walk on up to it. This is a historic cemetery. We'll tell you more about it when we get a little closer. But when I was a child, I guess I was about 11 or 12, my best friend and I actually rode our bicycles over here. We thought we were on a 25-mile bike ride. It's probably more like 6 miles. But we rode our bicycles over here, and this used to all be farmland here. This used to be where there was a large farm owned by the Collinsworth family. We had no idea of their history, but we saw an area where the ground had been disturbed a little bit, so we got out and started digging around in it. We found a bunch of these old bar jars, or ball jars that you use for canning. And we ended up hauling them all back to my friend's house. It gave them to his mother. I guess she really liked the old antique ball jars. But I had no idea that this area was kind of historic. And this is the reason that we're here. This was the location of a smallpox outbreak. And it was right here on this farm. And all of the Collinsworth family members are buried here. And Janet has quite a bit more information on it, but we'll go inside and take a look around.
There was a salesman that stayed the night at the Collinsworth house on their farm. And the next morning when he left, he said he didn't feel well. Well, the two girls ended up, changing in the sheets on the bed, and both these girls came down with smallpox, which was tragic. And at that time, the doctors didn't know how to treat it. Well, the two little girls passed away, and ended up the other family members started catching it. Whoever went to the funeral caught it. And they did a quarantine. We're right here in Plano, but down the road south is Park Road. Preston Road is west, and then Court Road is east. And they quarantined all this area because they didn't know how to handle this, but approximately 30 family members are buried here. But that pandemic was devastating for the family. But this was all farmland back in the day. Now, wow. But all this took place May 1895 is when it started, and this cemetery was utilized by the family until 1925. So we'll take a look what is left. On the diagram they do show who's who, and where different members are actually buried. Wow, that's nice. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I'd walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. That's nice. Aww.
It's amazing. I lived here in Plano for as long as I did and never knew that this cemetery existed.
Now, do you remember remember approximately where that farmhouse was? Where you?
No, that was 1977. I was 11 years old, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond Lee Collinsworth.
Virginia.
So, J.J. Collinsworth. But I had no idea this was even here. We actually found this on Atlas Obscura. And I didn't even know this was the area that we had found those old ball jars until we were getting close to the cemetery itself. Wow. Ishmael B. Collinsworth died in 1895. I believe 1895 is when the outbreak was, right, Jan?
Yes.
Yeah. So any of them that you see, this is 1895 or in that time frame, is probably deaths from smallpox. Died in 1902. Rachel, wife of T.H. Collinsworth. Lucy Ann, wife of F.M. Collinsworth, passed May 12, 1896.
So she was one of them. Within the year, yeah.
Yeah. And I believe this gentleman over here was too. Or well, I'll get to his in a second. This young lady passed away in 1903, Annie Odell Collinsworth.
Yeah, this is 1895.
Yep.
Yep.
L.U. Collinsworth.
Man, it didn't take long because it started in May 1895. He died May 1895. So, I mean, that's quick.
Didn't know how to treat it back then.
And then now they did put a city ordinance in that all Plano residents had to have the vaccine.
Vaccination, yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be vaccinated.
Yeah, be vaccinated for smallpox.
You know, I think I was vaccinated for smallpox in like
I'm sure.
2nd or 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, this is the family's cemetery, and there's supposed to be approximately 30 members of the family buried here. A lot of them were buried in unmarked graves. So, what a strange place for a cemetery, though. I mean, literally, these are homes, right all the way around this little cemetery here. And the cemetery is about the size of a regular home site lot. Now, when my buddy and I came out here, and we're digging around out here and finding all those old ball jars, none of these houses were here. It was just a big open field. And if I remember right, the foundation of the farmhouse was still here, but the actual house was pretty much gone. So, oh, found another one over here by themselves. Maybe it was the black sheep of the family. See what it says.
Wow.
It says nothing on this
Albert
side.
H. Collins. What is this? That must be an old one.
No burial date.
It shows on the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is a Texas Historical Cemetery. They did that in 2002. So hopefully nobody will do anything to this place. See, there's more details here.
Yep, Historic Texas Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Established in 1895.
So, see, that's
Mm-hmm.
number one. We saw this. Ishmael, wife, Annie, Levi. This is Albert. Okay. Okay.
You guys can pause this if you want to read it. There's the farmhouse there in that picture up in the top corner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a shame. They say a lot of the headstones are covered with soil because, just...
Mm-hmm. Over time.
Yeah. Wow. How devastating.
Plano is a town that really likes to protect their history. That's one of the great things about living in Plano. But the amazing thing to me was, even like in, I think it was 7th grade here in Plano, we all took Plano history, had to. And I never knew about this cemetery. Just never knew.
Wow.
Of all the things that are here in Plano, I
Now, who
surprised.
owned most of the land out here at one time?
The Haggards.
The Haggards, and they still have some unincorporated land here.
Yeah,
But
they've got a large, probably a 50 or 60 acre piece of land, maybe even more than that, right in the center of town. And in that part of town, the average home price is probably $500,000 to $600,000 now, and no telling how many homes they could put on that land. That land is unbelievably expensive. So,
yeah.
but anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And
Here, we can turn around.
until next time, we'll see you again. Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.
Strange RV tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fix your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on.